Do you prefer salty or sweet? And if you have a favorite indulgence, put it below in the comments. October 31st marks the beginning of a long stretch of celebration after celebration, each one loaded with treats and temptations and the unspoken pressure to either overindulge or white knuckle your way through until January 1st when we all buckle down and get back to our healthy routine, right? For women using GLP-1 medications, this season feels particularly spooky. We don't know exactly what to expect and what obstacles we'll run into. And so that's why we wanted to share this sugar strategy session with you. And here's the first thing that I want you to know. It's not just about the food. The medication might quiet your hunger, but it doesn't eliminate the emotional pull of traditions with food. It doesn't remove the desire to participate fully in life celebrations. It doesn't remove the holiday stress. It doesn't remove the events and the extra faces that are there for judgment. And it certainly doesn't erase the worry that one small choice might unravel all of your progress. And I think the GLP-1 Hub community is the perfect place to unravel all of this. And we're going to start today with the fun stuff, the candy. So first of all, hi, I'm Kelly. I'm co-owner of GLP-1 Enhanced with Aliza. We are your pharmacist, physician, GLP-1 nutrition experts. Please feel free to ask questions in the GLP-1 Hub or in this chat itself. Confession time, I have a serious sweet tooth. Whether it's chocolate or peanut butter or Skittles or hot tamales or, even Sour Patch Kids, if it's sweet, I'm in. And I'm guessing that if you saw the title of this, if you're here, if you're listening to this replay, you knew you needed to be here with me. And here's what we're covering today. How to navigate the Halloween treats without regret and shame or feeling even restricted. How to balance your favorite candy with the protein that your body needs. How to move from feeling out of control around sweets to feeling genuinely in charge of your choices. So does this sound familiar? I can't have it. It's bad for me. It goes straight to my thighs. When I have one piece, I can't stop. I feel guilty. But what if the problem isn't the candy? It's that relationship with the candy. Let's dive into a few mindset things before we get more tangible. What if there wasn't bad foods? What if you stopped restricting? What if the plan was to enjoy three pieces? Remove the can't and the shouldn't, the judgment. Remove the good and bad. Food isn't ethical or moral. Practice more 80-20. Set boundaries and intentions for the day. How do you want to feel tomorrow morning? What do you need to do to make that happen? What is the purpose of the day or the event? Is it really about the food? And it might be. Or is it about the people that you're going to be around? The actual representation of what the holiday is. Instead of can't and shouldn't, because those involve guilt, invoke guilt and shame, what if you choose to empower yourself? What if I don't want 6 pieces of candy? What if you'd say that? I don't want 6 pieces of candy. I choose not to have it because it doesn't align with my goals. Not that you can't have it or that you shouldn't have it, but you choose not to have it. Choosing and deciding give you an empowerment, which leads to confidence in yourself and your choices. Set your environment up for success. Start your day off with some quick wins to create momentum. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with quick wins, go to the GLP-1 Habit mini course and look at that quick wins section. Eat a big protein-packed breakfast, lunch, and even dinner. What do you plan on doing with all of the candy tomorrow? What is your work environment going to look like? What other situations can you picture in your mind that you're going to be up against? How can you avoid all the candy just sitting out in front of you, haunting you? Because If the food is just out there looking at you the whole day, you only can make so many good decisions, right? We get decision fatigue. And if it's just staring us there in our face, begging you to eat, you're eventually going to have to make so many decisions that you might start to make poor decisions. So if you can remove things from your environment so you don't have to make a decision every time you walk past the kitchen, you're going to set yourself up for better success. And now let's talk about some more action-oriented options for tips. Play this or that. Do I want this or that? I can have one or the other. This is one of my favorites. If it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. If I don't really, really want it, then I can have it another time. One plate. And this isn't necessarily for Halloween, but an event you're going to. You get one plate and you put your things on it and you really enjoy it. Another one of my very favorites, the 4-bite rule. Bite one, it's amazing. Bite two, it's delicious. You're so enjoying it. You're so glad that you had it. Bite three, darn good. Bite four, it leaves you satisfied, but you don't necessarily need to eat the whole thing. You don't have to clear your plate. You don't have to finish everything. You're satisfied. You got your enjoyment from that piece of dessert. You don't have to finish it in order to enjoy it. Okay, preload the day with veggies and protein and water. Don't completely skip breakfast or save calories. Often those saved calories turn into a lot more than what they actually would have been, and you're more hungry because you didn't eat earlier. Move your body. Take a walk. It goes kind of back to creating momentum, creating that quick win. When you get in some movement early in the day, you just make better decisions later in the day. Pre-log, and if you're not tracking, that's fine. Pre-decide what you're going to have. Log your treat first. So if you know that you're going to have the peanut M&Ms, log those. Have that in your plan, and then plan the rest of the day around that. Have fun. It's not just about the food. It's about the people that you're with, the things that you're doing. Is this scarce? Another one of my very favorites. Can you go to the grocery and have this on any random Tuesday? Can you get chips or candy or Oreos? Yes, you can get those any dang time you want them. So you don't need it right now. This is where I like to think about Thanksgiving, for example. My mom's homemade apple pie. That is something I probably won't pass on because it's special, it's unique. I have it once a year. I can follow the 4-bite rule with it. But if I have the pie and the Oreos and the this and the that, then we start to build a lot of things in there, and I could have them throughout any other time. I'm going to focus on the things that are a little bit more special to me in that moment. Okay, today's one day. It's what you do with the other 95% of the year that's really going to matter. And it doesn't mean you overindulge in this as a special day that you eat everything in sight, but it's just one day. Don't save treats only for the weekends. Allow yourself to have something every day. And I use this with clients. I've used this a couple times when it's someone that eats all the Oreos, or they've restricted, and then they have the Girl Scout cookies, they eat the whole sleeve. What if instead of restricting ourselves, we had a little bit every day? 2 cookies every day for 2 weeks. By the end of that 2 weeks, it's not something that's restricted or so super special. It's something that we enjoy each day. And then you get into the point where it's not the same thing every day, but you kind of get the point. If you restrict and restrict and restrict, then a lot of times we overindulge because it's something special and we haven't had it for so long and we kind of cave. But if we kind of trickle in some fun treats throughout the day or throughout the week, then we don't have to overindulge. This is a lot of where we get into that all or nothing mindset. We want to remove that. Because what happens is we're okay, I caved, I had everything, and so now I'm not going to have anything for I'm never eating sugar again. We've all said that, or something similar to that. And then we don't do it, and then we have everything again, and we go into this cycle. But if we can break that cycle by just having something small every day, we have that balance in the day, and we end that cycle. Okay, so here's some reminders for you. Today isn't off track. It's part of the track. It's part of life. Okay, so what I mean by this is Halloween's going to come and go, and same with all the other holidays. It's part of life. It's not like this piece that we want to say, oh, I was off track. We want to enjoy it and make it part of our life. How can we find balance even on the holidays? Balance doesn't mean we don't have the things, it means that we have some of the things. The scale might and probably will go up. It's mostly water weight. Give yourself 4 to 7 days. If you can't eat the food that you love in your diet, then it's the wrong plan. And this is especially important for GLP-1 users when you're like trying to pair something like keto with GLP-1s. Like instead, I would rather have you create a plan that works for you long term. Because if you've done keto 3 times, is it really working for you? It's working in the moment, maybe, but then what happens as soon as you go off? What happens? So what if instead we did something less restrictive? Maybe it's like a moderate carb. And so we don't get into that, I can't have this, I'm following this plan. What if you can practice, especially right now on GLP-1s, your lifestyle? And I understand that right now it's a calorie deficit because you're in a cut, because you're on GLP-1, but long term, you're going to be eating at maintenance calories, which doesn't mean you're off the diet. It just means you're eating more of what you're already eating. All right. And so we don't have to be so restrictive. We can find that balance of all of the foods. So I think that that will help most people if we're not following some restrictive diet. And you don't earn your food. That's another good, you don't earn your food. You are a human and food is food. It's not moral. It's not the enemy. You don't have to work really hard to get it. It's just food. Okay. Same with workouts, kind of go along the same path. Workouts aren't punishment. I want your workout to be something that you enjoy doing, that's fun. It's part of your life. Even if it's not the most fun thing, it's just part of something you do. It makes you feel strong and empowered. Because if it becomes punishment that you have to do because you messed up, it's not going to be something that you want to do long term. And it's something that when it becomes a punishment, it's not something, like I said, that you can do long term because it has a negative connotation with it. And we want your workouts to become part of your life, your lifestyle. My plan. Okay, instead of avoiding treats, I'm going to lean into them in a fun-sized way because restriction backfires. Your brain has a hard time registering negative. And when you tell yourself you cannot have something, it just thinks about the thing. So a little side note here, when you set goals, I don't want you to set them as like, I will not do this thing. I want you to set them as action oriented. What are you going to do? So for example, I'm not going to eat sugar. That's a negative. It's an inaction. Instead, I want you to do an action, something like, I will eat 3 pieces of fruits or vegetables. All right. And then when you're eating those fruits or vegetables, it's filling you up and making you nourished, and you don't need to eat as much of that sugar. So it still works for the goal that you have. It just works in an action-oriented way. So my plan for Halloween, I'm going to wait until the kids are asleep. I'm going to steal one fun size piece of all of my favorite candies, like 5 of them. And I'm going to enjoy one piece for the next 5 days of their stash. Yes. And then I am going to truly enjoy it. I'm not going to eat it as fast as I can, shove it in the back of my throat while I'm hiding in the back of the pantry. I'm actually going to not do that. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to savor it. And it's not going to be a punishment or a negative thing. It's going to be part of the season. I'm going to eat it with a protein. And this is to avoid that sugar crash. When you're eating it with a protein and a fat, it digests a little bit differently, and we don't have so much of a up and down of our blood sugar and the insulin release and all of that mechanism. So I'm going to pair it with other macronutrients. And then I'm going to also be eating lots of nutritious foods, some fruits, some vegetables. Then I'm going to get the rest of the candy. I'm going to label it with my kids' names. So it's not mine, it's theirs. Obviously, I won't let them just go to town on it. But I'm going to keep it out of sight. I don't want to see this. Like we talked about earlier, I have too many decisions to make each day. I don't want to keep looking at this food and having to tell myself, no, 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 or whatever my action plan is. Like, I do not want to have to keep making decisions throughout the day. So I'm going to keep it out of sight. All right, so now I want to hear from you. I want to hear one tip that maybe you've found in the past that I didn't mention today, or something that you learned today, or you want to try and test for yourself. Even one of the mindset things, just let me know which one sounds like, oh, this could be really impactful for me. All right, thanks and bye-bye.